crime story. That's a crime story. I want to talk about.
You know they put salt.
This one, I'm my own. Go around some more. I can't go thief. I don't like for that one. I can't teach small phones. I can't collect phone go go on. And I think just no, not nickel anybody. Nickel I point to give me a leave over come out.
But my friends who pushed me to the robbery, they say I just started where sometimes where they are going, I didn't follow them. But like one day, and I said that I should come and follow them. Then I followed them.
I was about going.
That's how we don't
to go and meet my sister.
Yeah.
So 5 o'clock in the evening, I stand on the bus stop. Suddenly I saw a police van. As I came there, they now say I should search myself. When I search myself, they now discover this local pistol in my hand.
Now we go to Ogun State, where we are told that the police command has arrested one Adioye for killing a 72-year-old woman, Fumilayo Shade, and severed her head on the 17th of March 2017. According to a statement by the police PRO, ASP Abimbola Oyeyemi, and made available to Crime Watch, the arrest followed a report by the son of the deceased, one Okundayo Shade, who complained at Abibi Divisional Police Headquarters on the 17th of March 2017 that while he was on his way to the farm at about 10 a.m. in the morning the same day to meet his mother, who had earlier gone to the farm, he met the suspect Adioye on the road holding a polythene bag. But as soon as he was sighted, the suspect dropped the bag and ran into the bush. This raised his suspicion and he quickly ran to check his mother but could not find her. He came back to the point where the bag was dropped by the suspect and discovered his mother's head and her wrist in the said bag. He reported to the police and the DPO and his men combed the bush and finally got the suspect arrested. On interrogation, he confessed to committing the crime, claiming that he had been having a running battle with the deceased over a piece of land. He's been transferred to homicide section of the State Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department.
So many things they happen. They kill my brother. If I travel my village, they kill my brother. But if I die for this thing, I don't know anything about it. Everybody will there go die.
Now you go die.
Everybody go die. I mean, they talk.
On Saturday morning, when I wake up, I was at my street. I want to go and fresh water to bath. And then I saw policemen that already blocked the street. And then as I saw the policeman blocking the street, I saw policeman coming from the up of the street. And I said I should run inside our passage. As I run inside the passage, the policeman see me as I run into the passage and he come and hold me there. They brought us to police station. From police station, they brought us to Panti. From Panti, they brought us here.
So you don't know why you were arrested? Is that what you're telling me?
I didn't know why I'm arrested. I didn't know anything.
You didn't do anything?
I didn't do anything.
So I was caught when the incident, the two people arcade on Friday.
Okay.
In that particular area. And they told me that police is coming. That police is coming and I saw them. I saw Inspector Razak. Because I was in prison before. I was in prison as my inspector.
No, not that
So
day.
I went to go and meet him. Now ask me that.
No, but then November 1st, can I start for
I
UK?
do bad them and I do call them. Now ask me their name. I said this one is Daniel and this one is Abi. They now took me to the station. Like, they would take them to mortuary. So they bring me out from the station to ask their name again. And I give them their name, Daniel and Abi. So that's what I know.
Where were the people killed?
At Oshifolari.
In Bariga?
Yes.
Okay. So what you did was just tell the police they
That's just what I did. That's what just I did. To tell the police the truth.
So you're not a member of any court?
I'm not a member of any court.
What is the truth you told us?
I told them that they asked me that immediately I get to that point that what did I hear that people are saying, and I tell them that what I heard that they came with two nape and with bike and they shoot and they asked me that what the name that I am here. I tell them that they call Tessie Friday and Ibrahim. That's what I heard.
When the incident happened,
Me, I was in my shop. I'm going to buy whiskey and buy Indomie at Oshifolari.
I'm not around since last year. NDLA cashed me since last year. I mean, Nako at Ikeja. They just released me this January. So as they released me, one person now
buy me a bike, said that I'll be hustling my own on installments, balance and carry. That on Saturday, I'm on work. I now carry passenger to Abule Jesha. So as I drop my passenger, I collect my money. On my way going back, I just see some two guys like this. I don't know they are police. They just attack me. Just fall me down from bike. Just carry my bike, go put handcuff on my hand, put me in the bus. Carry me to Elijah police station. Said I'm the one that carry those cuties to Elijah and go and kill. And I'm not around, I'm not there. I didn't know anything about the incident that happened.
As this continued, news filtered in that their kingpin has been arrested. His arrival was dramatic.
So many things they happen. They kill my brother. If I travel my village, they kill my brother. Shaggy na my brother. Shaggy na my people. I don't know the people. I Ibrahim then I kill them.
Which group?
I don't do any group. I be elderly person. I be elderly person.
What's your brother doing?
I don't know. You go court. Me that bad if you put it. You gonna sake. Sake. If you put it, you will let son. I kill my brother. I know that around that time I go prison. I did maximum for 12 years. I don't fight anybody. I don't fight anybody.
So where do you live?
I live on number 21 in Baja Street.
For that same Bariga. What's the problem for Bariga?
I don't know anything about it. I don't know
They
anything.
say that you be there.
No be me. Who talks?
That's like the king of boys.
No be me. No be me. I don't know. I don't know.
Those people where you mentioned their name, who they be?
Which people?
Those people where you say they kill your brother, who they be?
It's a year that time.
You say that them kill your brother.
And I say that Ibrahim now.
Ibrahim.
I don't know him. But if I die for this thing, I don't know anything about it. Everybody will tell you go die. Now you go die. Everybody go die. I mean, they talk. No. I just come back. I did the chair. From any other, I tell you, I don't do anything. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it.
So on Thursday, July 13th, 2023, Mr. and Mrs. Sanwo-Oluwa left their main residence in Awka for a burial ceremony in Iboku, a town in Anambra State, Nigeria. Then on Friday night, around 8 p.m., they got a call from their second son, Ifeanyi, who was living abroad, telling them to start praying seriously because the news he just got from their home in Awka about his younger brother, Chima, was very disturbing. To protect his parents from the devastating truth, Ifeanyi lied to them, saying their tenant just informed him some minutes ago that his brother Chima fell in the kitchen and hit his head on the freezer, and that he was currently in a very critical condition. He added that Chima was being rushed to the hospital as they spoke. This lie from Ifeanyi had the intended effect on the couple, as it protected them from suffering a possible devastating shock from the truth behind what really happened to their son Chima, by totally downplaying what was truly a premeditated murder into a mere household accident. However, this lie, though effective at the time, only postponed their shock, eventual collapse and hospitalization to another day, as nothing in the world would have ever prepared the couple for what they were going to find out when they eventually returned to Awka the next day to check on their son. Chima Nolu was a lecturer in the Department of Psychology at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, UNIZIK, Awka, Anambra State. He was also a popular choir master and vocalist in the Anglican Church, Awka. Chima lived with his parents in their family house in Awka, Anambra State. Since Mrs. Sanwo-Oluwa's children were all grown up and some had even left the country, they decided to take in some house help to assist with cooking and other chores. The couple hired Miracle, who was related to them through marriage. Miracle was a student at UNIZIK. However, due to the nature of his course, he ended up spending more time in school than he used to. This made the couple reach out to his father for another house help. In January 2020, Miracle's father introduced them to 15-year-old Ife Sinachi Emmanuel. He became part of the family and everything seemed fine until one fateful day in 2021. The couple had traveled to Iboku for a function. While there, they received a phone call from a family member that jungle justice was about to be enforced on Ife Sinachi and his accomplice. This came as a great shock to Mrs. Sanwo-Oluwa, but this was just the beginning of the horror that was about to unfold in her family. It turned out that Ife Sinachi and his accomplices had broken into a construction site to steal rods. They were caught by the vigilante group overseeing the security of the estate, and the vigilantes were planning to enforce a jungle justice on them.
Yes.
Since the couple was far from home,
Those are not been
they
there,
passed the
been
information to
to Pablo
Chima,
Miko.
asking him to go and rescue Ife
That my
which he
sister.
did.
Invite me as a father.
Chima narrated
He invite me as father, but it don't apply for me as father.
Ife Sinachi
So
and
you
his
come and done.
accomplices
Then
had been stealing
then we
rods
go for
Yeah,
now.
because once
construction
they
site
once they
to sell
for you, you must come out.
When
Because
confronted with these facts,
Then bring it
Ife
on the right
Sinachi
way.
confessed and also
Yeah,
apologized
conflict more
for
than
taking
the
part in
required
the
time.
illicit trade. However,
As violated
Mr.
the
Arnold
required
punished
time.
him.
oh, the quiet
Also
time.
6 more
threatened
time
to send
I
him
supposed
back.
to stand for.
Ife Sinachi's parents were called to come take their
So
son
with a
home.
good lawyer too,
However,
personally,
after much pleading,
as long as
both
they
from
carry
parents
it
and
on,
Ife
with a good
Sinachi
lawyer,
himself,
you
the
will
couple
get
decided to give him a second chance.
because them
Yes.
Second
them
chance
apply for
later
the
which
lot of
Ife
people.
Sinachi
Mm.
had given
Yes.
their own son, Chima. Things went back to normal for a while until February 2023. It was during the Nigerian election period, and some family members had come to visit prior to the election. During their stay, an airpod went missing. This missing airpod was later discovered to have been stolen by Ife Sinachi. This was an embarrassing situation for the couple, and they once again felt they've tolerated him.
No,
They
first time.
threatened to send him packing.
Yeah,
once
when I
again.
first become a brother, I mean, like, for
Ife
instance, when I
Sinachi
first
cried
come, give me 6 months, 6
regrettably,
months, I
and
did
even
I
went
don't
as
know you
far
call your
as
twice,
writing
you
an
not
undertaking,
undertaking.
promising to
Don't
be
do
a
that,
good
you don't
conduct
do that,
and
man.
behavior.
Yes.
He stated in the undertaking that if
When I put
he
together
ever
all those
misbehaved
years.
again, he should be sent out of the house. Seeing this, the family missed out on the second chance fate was presenting to them to save their own son's life. Once again, they forgave Ife Sinachi with the hope that he actually meant every single word he said. However, when Chima came back that evening and heard his parents' decision to let Ife Sinachi stay in the family, he wasn't happy, and he made this known to his parents. He told his parents not to allow Ife Sinachi to stay with them anymore, that the kind of things he heard about the boy during the interrogation at the security post when he was caught stealing rods from the construction site were very troubling. Regrettably, his parents ignored this warning and went on to let him stay. Ife Sinachi got to find out that Chima had told his parents to send him packing. Not only did this not sit well with him, it also awakened some darkness in him. From that moment onwards, Ife Sinachi started harboring some ill feelings towards Chima. The family knew about his unhappiness towards Chima, but what they didn't know was how far he was willing to go to pay him back for wanting to get rid of him. After that incident, everything seemed to have gone back to normal. They were all living happily as one big family, and no one would have ever suspected that Ife Sinachi was still harboring any form of ill feelings towards Chima until the 18th of July 2023, just 5 months after he had submitted the undertaking. On that fateful Thursday, Mr. and Mrs. Arnold left for a burial ceremony in Iboku. They had wanted Ife Sinachi to go with them, but he lied that he still had exams to write in school. Chima would have gone with his parents that day, but he had a busy weekend ahead. This ranged from school activities to church programs, which he played key roles in, and wouldn't want to leave any vacuum. Luckily for them, Chineye, who was a family member, came around because she needed a place to stay while processing her final year clearance in school. Chineye was asked to keep an eye on Ife Sinachi and to also cook for the family until they returned on Saturday. Chima came out to bid his parents a safe journey as they departed Alka for Iboku. Unknown to Mr. and Mrs. Arnold, this will be the very last time they will ever see their son alive. On Friday, July 14th, 2023, after Mr. and Mrs. Arnold had returned from the burial to their place in Iboku, Mrs. Arnold began calling her children to check up on them. She called Chineye around 7 p.m. to check up on her and others in Alka. She asked after Chima, but Chima had not returned home at the time. She then told Chineye to lock up all the doors and gates for security reasons and to also gather everyone in the house for bedtime prayers. About 1 hour later, Mrs. Arnold received a call from his second son, Ifeanyi, who then asked her if she could return to Alka, that something bad had happened to Chima. He went on to admonish her to pray about the situation. When Mrs. Arnold asked him what was wrong, he lied to her that Chima fell in the kitchen and hit his head on the freezer, and that he had been rushed to the hospital for treatment. Since it was already late, the couple couldn't leave for Alka that night. so they decided to wait till the next morning. Mr. and Mrs. Sanwo-Oluo went to bed that night, completely unaware of the nightmare that would soon become their reality the next day. What happened was that immediately after Chinenye had gotten off the call with Mrs. Sanwo-Oluo, she went out to implement the instructions given to her. Chima had already returned home by then. Chinenye locked the doors and gates, after which she went to get Ife Sinachi so that they could have their bedtime prayers. She checked his room, but he wasn't there. She proceeded to check the parlor and kitchen, but he still couldn't be found. Chinenye later found him sitting outside the house. She asked what he was doing outside, to which Ife Sinachi replied that he needed fresh air. This got Chinenye confused because it rained that very day. She asked him to go inside the house, that Mrs. Sanwo-Oluo instructed her to lock the gates and doors. Ife Sinachi told her to go inside and that he would join her shortly. Chinenye went upstairs. However, after a while, she heard a loud sound repeatedly coming from the kitchen. She began to wonder what Ife Sinachi was eating. She hurried to the kitchen to check. There was no power supply at the time she stepped out of the bedroom. But luckily for her, as she was going down the stairs, the power supply was restored. When the power was restored, Chinenye was met with a shocking sight that left her screaming. She found Chima lying unconscious on the kitchen floor. In a state of panic, she called out Ife Sinachi's name, but there was no reply. She then ran to call their tenant, Frank, who then came with two of his siblings to try and save Chima. Everyone called and searched for Ife Sinachi, but he was nowhere to be found. He was later seen hiding in the backyard of the house. When questioned, Ife Sinachi claimed that Chima had fallen and hit his head on the freezer. No one suspected any foul play at the time, so Frank and his siblings rushed Chima to the hospital. But then, things took a very disturbing turn. Ife Sinachi was in the car with Chima, who at the time was still struggling to live. While on their way to the hospital, one of the boys caught Ife Sinachi trying to strangle Chima. The boy quickly knocked his hands away and asked him to leave Chima alone. It was at this moment that everyone in the car grew suspicious of him. Chima was first taken to Life Hospital, where he was rejected and referred to Auka General Hospital. At the hospital, Chima's wound was stitched, but the doctor informed them that Chima's injuries were not consistent with an accident. He revealed that, contrary to what everyone believed, Chima was deliberately struck with a hard object. The vigilante group was called and they took Ife Sinachi into custody. Under pressure, he confessed to the murder. Ife Sinachi told the vigilantes that after Chima returned from work, he asked him to boil rice for him. While he was boiling the rice, Chima asked him why he did not wash the dirty plates in the house, but he did not respond to his question. He claimed that Chima gave him a slap, to which he informed him that he has an ear problem and that people don't slap him. He claimed his response further infuriated Chima, as he angrily asked him if he was still talking while he spoke. Ife Sinachi said Chima slapped him once again, and this got him angry, and he fought back. He claimed that in a fit of rage, he picked up a nearby utensil and attacked Chima with it several times. However, Chinenye countered his claims by revealing that she had washed all the dirty plates in the house after their dinner. Also, when Chima was found in the kitchen, he was lying on his stomach, which indicated that he had been attacked from behind. When Mr. and Mrs. Sanwo-Oluo returned to Auka the next morning, they were told the truth on what happened to their son. The couple collapsed and lost consciousness. However, they were rapidly resuscitated and taken home. Mrs. Sanwo-Oluo claimed Ife Sinachi was lying against his son, that he had never laid his hands on any of their house help before. She also said that Chima would never ask Ife Sinachi to boil rice for him. The claims turned out to be the truth, as Ife Sinachi later confessed to her in the police station that he attacked and took Chima's life for no reason. He claimed the devil took over him, thereby making him commit the heinous act. Chima was laid to rest on the 22nd of August 2023 at Iboku, Anambra State. He was just 85 years old. This story serves as a reminder that one should not ignore the red flags in people, as the consequences could turn out to be irreparable. If the couple had sent Ife Sinachi packing the moment he was caught stealing from the construction site, or from the family member, their son would not have suffered the tragic fate.